Hello. This is not a motorcycle video, but it is about something that has to do with motorcycles. I brought the motorcycle just because I like it, and they use a lot of sensors. These are sensors. They go on your bike, they go on your pedals. Let's do a little install on those, and then we'll bring it back to the motorcycles. I put these on my Haro Rivet before a little sprint day. You can see they're super easy to install. They are pedals. So you just put them on like pedals. Remember the threading, the left-hand one is threaded opposite. Okay, pedals loosen as they pedal, so don't install them incorrectly. There's a lot of pedal power meters on the market here. You can find videos that go into really excruciating detail on these pedals. They have quick breakdown, good battery life. They're almost exactly equivalent to the pedals from Wahoo, aside from the fact that these pedals use the Shimano cleat system. So you will need to buy some Shimano cleats to go with these pedals. They also come with their own charger, but you need a USB charging hub. Also use the pedal washers on them before you do an install. So that is the summary of the pedals. Essentially, you just charge them up, good battery life. They have a little bit more offset, but they use Shimano pedals, which is awesome. I had used the Faveros before, but these bearings and the whole setup seem like they're gonna be a little bit more robust than my Faveros, which developed kind of a click and a little bit of a play in them as I rode them. So I actually ended up getting rid of those. Those were also Shimano pedals, but I used those for quite a while, and these seem like an upgrade over that. Back to my favorite part of the video, which is talking about my motorcycle. This back here is my motorcycle. It is a R1200 GS from BMW. These bikes actually have a lot of sensors on them as well. So the engine, this is the engine, and it is wild. BMW does some weird stuff. It's pretty much the engine of a Subaru, 2 cylinders, but in the same format as a Subaru, and they put a lot of sensors on their engines. This is not that young of a bike. It's from 2008. So a lot of bikes were pretty low tech then, but BMW actually put some sensors on them. You can see, I'm gonna go through the sensors. Engines have a lot of sensors to make sure they're running correctly, and this one was one of the ones to kind of modernize it. And this engine runs super well. So that's a sensor there. It's got a little flap for the exhaust. A lot of electronics going on with this guy. And these are important for how an engine runs. We are the engines of the bicycle. So having sensors to understand how your engine's running, if you have, say, a misfire in one leg, if your leg is doing a little bit less power than the other leg, we'll call that a misfire. It can be a symptom of a much bigger problem. You might be getting pretty close to saddle sores. You might have some sort of muscular imbalance. So having an idea of what's going on with your pedal stroke and all of that stuff, it can tell you you need shorter cranks, which you could swap out super easily with these pedals. Magene did send these pedals over to me to do a review. They have not paid for this video. I just think these pedals are a great idea. So I put them on this bike, and Sierra and I went for a little ride just to see if I had any power imbalances. I actually had kind of testing to do this week, so put them on my bike and went to do my 30-second max power. I've been shooting for 1,000 watts for 30 seconds, which may seem like a lot to a lot of people, but for sprinters in my relative category, that's somewhat necessary to get a good sprint. Not entirely, but it's a good metric to shoot for. Long sprint was gonna help me out a bunch. Traditionally, I've been at like right around 900 watts for that period of time. But I went out with Sierra, we did a little ride, and she led me out for my first little opener. And we rode pretty far with these pedals on. They do have a little bit of an offset, so I wanted to see how that felt during the sprint. Did not notice it at all. Here is my 30-second effort, and it went really well. I did something like 940 watts. You can tell on the bottom here, my power balance is actually pretty skewed. So if I had just a left-hand power meter, it would have shown me quite a different number than these dual-sided power pedals and these also show pedal smoothness, many different metrics that can tell you how your pedal stroke is. So thought these were super important. And interesting data coming from my dual-sided power meter here, being the Magene power pedals. We did the rest of the ride. It was gorgeous. Did it on these pedals. Had no notice of, they have a little bit bigger stack than the normal Shimano pedals, but they also are a wider set. So I didn't notice that at all. We rode for like 5 hours and they were totally fine. I definitely recommend these pedals. They're a better price point than most of the other power meter pedals on the market, and you don't need to install like a crazy crank or bottom bracket or anything like that. Give them a look. Go check out Magene. I have used a lot of Magene stuff, and these pedals actually seem like a pretty good offering in the market. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you liked it.